may not have encountered just yet, and may wish to seek out for yourself in your own time. Furthermore, it contains language that is most unbecoming. The music involved is by Highwell and may be discovered in the notes of this transmission alongside a few documents that you might find illuminating. Now, shall we begin? It is interesting, is it not? All of the little things you can find hidden between the lines, all of those forgotten or misremembered artifacts that were once so wonderful. But with time, a discarded thing may become dissatisfied with its own image. Yet, is it not so easy to become acclimated to these distortions? Now, looking back, there is nothing to hold dear. The image that comes to me in these moments is...
Yes, sweetie, what are you doing? Don't you remember it's your day off?
But I thought it was Tuesday.
No, sweetie, it's Thursday. Come on, I took forever convincing you to take this break.
So you are saying I have nothing more to do?
No, you gotta stay in bed all day, get your energy back. You haven't even touched the sandwich I made you.
Very well.
Come on, sweetie, get up.
In that case, could you take my white ass to the toy store?
Sure, honey.
Yay.
And one more foreword from me, the special guest of the episode, and not that other guy. Hi, I'm here. Check the notes. There will be a link to the big image of all of the information. We call it the tome. You will be able to follow it along. It will help significantly. Alternatively, hopefully, by the time that this audio version of the episode comes out, there should also be a video presentation edition, also available on YouTube, which will be less convenient than just following along yourself, but it might be funny. And finally, you will note a few times in the episode, I specifically, me alone, I get a few... Basically, I trip up on my words. I call Undertale Deltarune by accident when I'm asked about that in the beginning. I do it in a few places. I'm not getting the facts wrong. I am just spending 2 hours talking about a PNG that's in front of me that has a lot of text and images on it. You may get a bit confused, which is why I do suggest you use the image. It will be clear what I'm talking about if you line those up. Forgive my mistakes. I'm not very good at communicating. Thanks. Here comes the episode.
Welcome to Survey Program. You thought this was going to be a Gaster episode, but we lied. It's actually an episode about the most important character in Deltarune, Rules Card. And I've got two very special guests for me this week. I've got Valerie.
Hello.
Valerie, you might remember from our Chris episode a couple episodes ago. And I've got a first-time guest. I've got Lucretia here. Lucretia, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm Valerie.
Hi, Valerie. How you doing?
Hi, Valerie. How you doing?
I'm Lucretia.
Wait, was that wrong?
I'll be presenting my tome today.
Okay, so before we start, when I have somebody new on the show, I want to ask them, what's your experience with Undertale and Deltarune? What's your history with it?
So I played Deltarune not that long after it came out, like 2015, 2016, early parts of that. I beat it all in a few days, both Pacifist and No Mercy. I enjoyed myself brief periods of time where I had a Undyne and Metaton profile picture in various places.
Of course.
And then I poked at it a couple of times since then, and primarily used it to make jokes, as with usual things. One of the things I did appreciate most about Undertale is it has guys in it who talk stupid.
Yeah.
And I talk stupid. So that was very, very heartening for me back then when I was a wee baby.
It taught you it was okay to talk stupid?
It taught me that it was okay to say the least helpful things at any given time. Or just generally bad things to say. Deltarune, 1 and 2, chapters 1 and 2, I played them very shortly after they came out. I never beat Jevil when it was just chapters 1 and 2. I got mad.
Yeah.
Well, that's his whole bit, isn't
That
he?
guy can do anything.
That guy can do anything. He makes you mad.
I got mad and I didn't do it. And then I went through 3 and 4. I also replayed the early bits of the game, beat everything a few days after those came out. And I had a great time with it. And then starting a few days ago, I went through the entire game again. In a very short span of time. It took me 20 hours.
Oh my god.
And once again, I enjoy the whole thing. I did not have similar, hits close to home's feeling with Chapter 4 in particular. And I'm glad that people did, but unfortunately, the one thing that did get me from Chapter 4 is very specifically the line that Cat Dad says in the church about eating grilled bones and being feminists. That one hurt me really bad.
Yeah.
We are feminists.
We are feminists.
That one has made me so bad since. So, similar to Undertale, God, people talk like that, and I'm that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Jockington.
Just like Jockington.
Our friend Jockington.
Just like Jockington.
Subject to the next episode.
That's not true. That's not true, listener. We're not doing a Jockington episode next. We actually have a really exciting next episode, and it's not about Jockington.
Oh.
Maybe one day we'll do a Jockington episode, although I think there's not a lot to hold on to here. Okay, the tome. Oh my god, wait, is this the full tome? Oh, the full tome is available. Oh no, it's not.
No, a zoomed out picture of the whole tome, which is very big.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, to pivot to this episode's topic, right? When I was putting together the initial list of topics for this episode, I sort of put a rules card episode on there as a joke, because rules card is dumb and is the most obvious doesn't matter thing in the game. And then once I actually started thinking about rules for longer than 5 minutes, I was like, wait, why is this fucker important? That's really annoying.
Yeah.
And so I put a little outline together, but then you put, I would say, maybe more of a less of an outline and maybe more of whatever Asgore's got in his basement. Type.
So let me walk you through what happened.
Okay.
You floated the idea over a month ago I also was like, oh yeah, rules card episode would be a great joke to do. Then I also thought about it for more than 5 minutes and began assembling the tome, which I did entirely as a text document. I wrote down literally everything I could think of. Then what I decided to do about a week ago instead was convert the tome into a big image, which also involved me getting screen caps from the entire game and other places.
Yep.
To assemble what I can only describe as the worst thing I've ever made.
Yeah. So we have it up on my screen, really zoomed out, and I was
Yeah.
just hovering the mouse back and forth between rules card bowing and the butler bowing, and then like my eyes drifted down and I'm squinting at, I think Oscar Rosa Versailles next to
Yes!
Is that
like
is that
squinting in anger.
is that one of those emo boys right there?
That is in fact Gerard Way.
That is Gerard Way.
That is Gerard Way.
Okay.
I'm gonna stream my image.
Okay,
it's
yes.
the best way I can
And
do this.
before we do this, can I ask? Am I going to receive this? Can I put this in the show notes for people to look at, or is this going to remain your secret?
I will
your wizard
see what I
stone.
can do. I entirely anticipate I'll add something to this either during the process of this or afterwards. But I will be giving it to you.
Okay, so the listener,
Live document.
you can pull open the show notes and click on the link and be exposed to. And I want to be clear, I am not responsible for what happens to you if you open this image.
Yeah, you may, if you've got the whole image zoomed out, you may see that, like, at the bottom right corner and the bottom middle, there appears to be hell in image form.
Group of Shrike Amalgamated General Productions GmbH is not responsible for any bodily or mental harm created by opening the show notes of this episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to really, really ignore what's going on at the bottom until
Okay.
you're ready.
That's also true of rules.
Yeah, it's exactly true.
Also true of rules. Also ignore the very stretched out rules also near the bottom.
He probably is stretchy. He probably is. I mean, I guess we can
is stretchy.
let's open this discussion by talking about what sort of texture rules card is, because he looks goopy, right?
He is goopy.
Yeah.
He is slimy. He's
think-
got something. He looks like he's melting.
I'm assuming it seems to me like he's supposed to be like the ink on the card. He's like made of ink.
My is like if
Yes.
you ever had like if you ever touched it's not like Play-Doh, but like what's the rubbery the thing I used for my
Silly
magic?
putty?
Silly putty. Have you
Yeah.
ever touched Silly putty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like Silly putty, like a little bit clammy, a little bit slimy, but like has like a kind of a give. To
Yeah.
it, you know.
I think the word clammy is great because I need to preface this by saying I'm normal, but
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We acknowledge that. That's the court records that in the record.
despite being kind of a putty like goo man, he does sweat a lot.
That's
does.
He's got
yeah.
like that nervous sweat, so he's both dry and sweating at the same time, which is great. And I'm normal.
That's
It's
me.
really awesome.
I will say that's me during most of my podcast recording session. So, listeners, in case you're ever wondering about that, for some reason, recording a podcast makes me sweat like crazy.
Yeah. I'm here. I can confirm.
I'm gonna share my paint.net. I made this in paint.net, by the way.
All right.
Okay.
Let me
I'm so nervous.
Oh God. Oh, bad idea.
You can pull it up. Just,
everything
you can
everything
pull it
you
up. Just
see here.
mute yourself. Yeah.
Okay. You can see my screen.
I can see your screen. I see a big inky blackness.
Yep.
Yep, and this. Ignore that. That's
I can't tell what that is. So
I
that's-
can tell what it is.
okay. Here we go. Bam.
Oh my God.
Okay. This is. Should somebody? This is an audio medium, so somebody doesn't need to read out this disclaimer.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Disclaimer. I got most of everything I could think of, but I'm very certain I've missed out some things. For each thing that I have missed out, I will create another personalized apology video. This is a visual aid, so it's not really going to be useful for a podcast, but sometimes you have to save some of your jokes for those who deserve them.
Okay.
Including the typo with that.
This is the first time I'm really regretting not doing one of those like Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn type like video podcasts where we're like sitting in a studio with neon signs.
Yeah.
And now we dramatically zoom out so you can see it again.
Oh
Whoa!
god. Oh god. This is
God,
really
it's so
Whoa!
It's so big.
So I have some things.
Okay.
I have some
So we're starting at the beginning. We're starting with chapter 1.
We're starting with chapter 1.
specifically chapter 1's puzzles.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, Rules is like a puzzle guy.
He's the puzzle master.
Yeah.
Dude, the Duke of Puzzles.
This specific framing of doing it as puzzles will become important later, and I promise it's not for a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't. Okay, let me
I'll
zoom
take
out.
your promise very seriously.
How are you scrolling? It looks like you're scrolling sideways with your scroll wheel. How did you do that?
It's called grabbing.
I'm holding down the middle.
Oh,
button.
okay. All right. Okay.
It's called grabbing. You
Okay,
can do
I
it.
didn't see the grab cursor.
Anyone can do it.
Sorry.
I don't think you can see my cursor.
I can see your
don't know how to
cursor now.
change that. Oh, you can. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've also very helpfully, in this image, given the whatever these are called, I forgot. They have A, B, C,
Letters.
they're points.
Letters.
Letters.
Those are letters.
Letters. They're figures, and they've been marked in order, roughly. So, chapter 1, it has puzzles. Rules card is the Duke of Puzzles in Card Kingdom. That is his thing. Get to more on that later. But I want to talk about the puzzles themselves because it is important. And we have here the first puzzle in the game. It's the one where you get the little clock on the wall, and you have to step on the buttons in time. And there's spikes, and there's a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are relatively easy puzzles. They're fine. They're whatever. But they don't have anything that says rules on it. And this
Yeah.
will become apparent later, because I did a lot of looking. And then, B, the first puzzle that has rules as involvement. It's got pushing blocks, where you have to push the blocks onto buttons in order to complete the puzzle. That is most of what rules cards puzzles are like.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, as I have noted,
It's kind of
this will
yonic.
become more clear. It is yonic. This one is very pussy.
It does look at the fucking ovaries.
Yeah, for those following along at home, on the outline, this is one. We're in 1B now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1B. This is the puzzle with like the big spiked iron gate that Susie says she wants to impale herself on because she's
Yeah.
normal.
Normal. Yeah, she's very normal.
Super normal.
Okay.
So Rousey discovers that the instructions for this puzzle, which are on the wall, have been vandalized. And it turns out that Rules Card himself vandalized the instructions of the puzzle to stop you from progressing through Card Kingdom. He specifically says, "Thou'st fools, thou will never figure it out now." Even though it's a pushing block puzzle, that's very easy.
Yeah.
So you can do it very easily.
I think I already know where you're going with this, but I'm not gonna. I'm just along for the
some
ride.
respect.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've had a thought immediately, but I think you've probably anticipated it, so I don't want to like get out ahead of you.
You've got a lot of shit. And as I have noted at the bottom here, Rules Card didn't make this puzzle, he just vandalized it.
Yeah.
It's also, even though it's on the document here, I'm gonna leave that bit for dramatic. Welcome to C.
Okay.
Card Castle puzzle, which you have to do to get one of the key pieces. You have to do the order of the card suit rooms in Card Castle. Hasn't been touched by Rules Card. This puzzle gets you a key piece, which allows you to go get Jevil. And it hasn't been touched by Rules. And I have put here, possible that he just wasn't told about this one.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would want a guy like Rules Card having anything to do with the Jevil Prism.
Because he'd probably go and try to
Become his second.
Yeah.
He would go become the vice jester, and
Yeah.
that would be sucks. Is D. This is when it gets harder to look at. D. This is also one of like the button things. You have to do spade and diamond and then swap them in order. This puzzle has the solution directly above it, which means it's not really a puzzle. It's just a keypad, and you put in the key and you have it.
Yeah.
This is worse than all of Rules' puzzles. It is easy. You don't really have to do anything. You know the answer. At least for everything else, you do have to figure out that you do one thing.
Well, it's kind of a teaching puzzle.
It's a teaching puzzle, but within the world, this is the worst puzzle in Chapter 1. This is the easiest one. This is puzzles for idiots.
Like Susie. And
Someone was
Lancer.
less fit for the position of Duke of Puzzles than Rules Card.
Well, it's interesting because there are puzzle pieces that have been deposed
Yeah.
from that role, right? The guys that are now running the money hole.
Yes. Zooms out. It's somewhere in here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess I should I'm just go fuck myself then. I haven't thought of anything you haven't thought of.
No, please bring them up so I know I'm not insane.
This is like if there was a John Boy video, but there was like a second person who was like,
It's like, yes.
yeah,
exactly.
I bet you didn't think of this.
Yeah.
Just somebody heckling the John Boy video.
This is 1D, and at the bottom I have put CF. This is
You
one of the
put
few
notes.
times This is one of the few times I actually bother to link them because I'm going to do it as it goes along. I realize how annoying this was. Anyway, there are a lot of these other similar sorts of puzzles that don't have any vandalism going on with it. He either didn't have time to do them or he just liked them.
Yeah.
But, and here we are at F, which is the one where Clover appears. It's another one of these puzzles. He's vandalized the answer, which is also just right there. And he did it to hinder you again. How do you know this? It's because Clover tells you.
Wow.
I tricked you into thinking it's a mystery.
AK just came by.
Rules card also tells Clover the answers. Because she's guarding the area and she can go wherever. That's beautiful.
Because she's special.
Yeah.
She's special. Rules card does a shit job at disguising the solution.
Yeah.
You can figure out half of it. Because
Yeah.
it's red, black, red. So, great job, man. But,
Right.
as we go back to D, that one,
Yeah.
he wasn't going through all these places and just picking puzzles to fuck with. So he was doing something shortly before you arrive in the Dark World or during. Keep that in mind because we'll get to why he does that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm thinking. I'm
All
keeping
right.
it in mind. Also, worth noting, was he referred to as a hunk or was it as AK somewhere?
That's RK. You dingus.
Arcade.
Clover.
Rules-
call-
That's
RK.
an R?
That's an R. Yes.
Toby, your fonts. Toby, your fonts. So, Rules card is a hunk. We
Yeah.
can establish that.
Well, at least Clover thinks so.
At least Clover.
Okay, two of Clover's three heads
Established.
think so. There's the third lesbian head that probably doesn't think so.
Well, who cares about that one?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So, Rules Card is going through all of these puzzles and just deciding that he wants to vandalize them to prevent the party from going anywhere. But that also means he did okay this one. He thought
Yeah.
that was okay.
Yeah.
He thought that it was okay to have the solution there.
Yeah.
And this last line here, he might not be the biggest puzzles moron, but he is up there.
Yeah. But I think what you're emphasizing in this section is that it's not like he had a lot of really qualified competition for Puzzle Master.
Yes. Yeah. At the end of the day, maybe it was okay that all those guys got fired. They suck. Anyway, this is another puzzle. It's the one where there's a big harmful thing in the middle, and you have to go around, and it lights up a tree, and there's
Yeah.
a button in the tree. This is a puzzle. Rules hasn't touched it. It involves light and dark and revolving around a place, and a tree, and it's one of the 2 rooms is connected to the egg room. That's okay.
That's not too important, not too unimportant.
Yeah.
The other room is Star Walker's room.
Right, the other most important character.
Yeah.
The other one. The Forest Labyrinth is a puzzle. 1H. Lancer and Susie both get lost in it. Why would rules need to do anything about it? It's not blocks. People get lost in mazes all the time. And rules can teleport.
That's true.
That's true. He probably has never even gone through this path ever.
He does not care. 1I. In Card Castle in the prison, there's more of these suit button things where you have to swap them around. They also have the combinations directly above them. You help Susie with the first one, but then she does the second one on her own.
She learned.
She figured it out, and Susie is notoriously bad at puzzles, so she's immediately learning, immediately figuring it out. Whoever made this one sucks as well.
Yeah. Stupid
And
puzzle
rules,
pieces.
again, you suck, because you said this was okay.
Yeah. I get
Your
the sense of
puzzle
it. It's
sucks.
like
Is this okay?
it's like when you're in like a workplace, right? And there's like a keypad lock somewhere, and the combination is just stuck on a sticky note right next to it.
Yeah.
Yes. Incredibly stupid. Anyway, 1J. I'm going to read this out verbatim.
Okay.
Oh yeah! Rules card first ever puzzle. Locked in the room, force 2 puzzle. Also, this puzzle unlocks the block path from the previous room. Good puzzle equals strong muscle plus fucked body. Oh yeah, he sucks at them.
Good.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the puzzle, it appears because like he appears, right?
He does teleport both the button and the puzzle block, and in one case he like teleports a piece underneath it as well. So you can just move environments when he teleports shit.
Yeah.
That's important. However, it is a 1 space block pushing puzzle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he thinks it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, what will you do about the second one? Because then he shows up later,
Yeah.
followed by.
Gasp. My puzzle.
So rules is 2 puzzles.
Yeah. One is pushing a block 1 square, and one is pushing a block 2 squares.
Yes, and
Yeah.
those are the ones that he is seen making. Compared to everything else,
I don't think that's fair.
worse than most. Worse
Yeah.
than the other block pushing puzzle.
Maybe Rules is very physically weak, and so he thinks that pushing a block 1 square is a challenge.
That would be held up by the evidence, I think.
Yeah.
What,
Well, he is a
no,
hunk.
I
That's true. He is a hunk. He is a hunk.
I'm sorry, you thought of this clearly.
Yeah.
And besides, he can teleport things in. He can
That's true.
teleport blocks
That's true.
around in. Why would he need to strong? Anyway, as I said here, good puzzle equals strong muscle and fuck body. I don't know why.
That's a good point.
Don't know why I wrote that.
It seems to be true, though. It seems to be held up by the evidence.
1K. The most difficult thing Rules Card does to impede you is by controlling K round in the second fight. It's kind of a puzzle. Because you throw, you have to figure out the trajectory.
Yeah.
It was a friendly test of thine abilities. It was a puzzle.
It's the definition of a puzzle, I think. A friendly test of fine abilities.
And that's the end of section 1.
So what did we learn?
He sucks at puzzles, but most of the puzzles in Card Kingdom suck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
true.
Shall we move on to? Do you have anything to comment about these, or do you want to move on to section 2 that I've accidentally keep putting in view?
I think we gotta stay on a rapid pace here to try to get through all this.
Section 2. Interacting with the game itself.
Okay.
I have 2X here, which just has his quote from when he vandalized the first puzzle that says, "P.S. I make my own rules, RK."
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the TLDR version. He just does whatever he wants. But let's use some examples. Here we go. Shawn, in chapter... This is 2A. Shawn does the thing where they clarify how their name is pronounced in text, which doesn't make sense unless someone is reading it.
Yeah.
All the characters in the Duck World have voices. They talk about each other's voices.
Yeah.
So this dipshit's doing it for the
For
player.
our benefit, yeah.
Rules Card also does this in his Chapter 2 boss fight.
Pronounce rules.
Pronounce rules.
The rules, pronounced rules, are simple. And also, his boss battle theme is called It's Pronounced Rules.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How does he
Okay.
do it?
Interesting. And somebody, presumably Sham, is responsible for locking Jevil away, right? And so,
Yes.
presumably Sham would have been the one to not loop in rules on the puzzle locking Jevil away, and all three of them have some sort of meta awareness.
Yes.
Okay, I'm assembling something. I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting at the point where I do want to part the curtain. I did puzzle this. The puzzle again.
Yeah. I want to just a quick note, totally unrelated to rules. You see that little guy on the shelf behind Chom, or little girl, or whatever it is? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's a character from Temmie's game.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Next to the potions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to look at. I like Shawm. Can we do a Shawm episode instead?
I would love to do a Sham. I don't know if there's enough there right now.
There's not enough, huh?
Oh, okay, that's true. I
find it,
said
huh?
that. Yeah.
Fire Lucretia.
Yeah.
I can't invent it.
Yeah, there might be more. Yeah, I mean, I do think Sham is going to be very important in Chapter 5. All right, let's move on. 2B.
Yes. 2B. During his Chapter 2 fight, when it's on your turn and you let the song play out, Rules Card says hey at the end, as an actual speech bubble.
Hey.
Hey.
That's cool. He doesn't do it if you remove the file from the game.
Huh.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I'm curious about that. That's really interesting.
There are other parts in Chapter 2 particularly that also do this with music, which is like the rhythm game stuff that Sweet Cat and Cakes does, and the Queen portraits in the Mansion with Reed Fire. They like laugh when the song does the woo 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 and stuff like that. They also stop doing it properly if you remove the song files from the game. Fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there is... Okay, so there's some... Do you do the piano... Do you get to the Chris piano thing later on?
I'll never tell.
You'll never tell. Well, I just wanted to say, because it seems like Susie has heard some of the songs before when you're playing on the piano
Yes.
in Chapter 4. So I think at least some of the music in the Dark World is diegetic.
Sure is. Anyway, 2C. Rules Card has almost been everything in the game.
Yeah.
He's been a key item, which you can't interact with. He's a light world item, because he is cards in your pocket. He is a boss. He's also like a multi-enemy fight.
He's a shopkeeper.
He's a shopkeeper,
He's a shopkeeper
too, yeah.
as well. This is another point. But anyway, he also gets cut off by the text boxes.
Yeah,
Have you noticed?
that's true.
He's silenced. He has more things to say. Also,
God.
Starwalker is in front of his text.
Oh my god.
He also has hands, which get cut off by the text box.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
And he appears, and when his Chapter 2 fight, he speaks during his own Czech flavor text. That's weird. Also, in earlier versions of him being a key item, he appeared as just like a few hand pixels off the right of the screen instead of in the corner. He also just puts himself into a Chapter 3 fight that he's nowhere near at one
Yeah.
point. So again, he's just doing what he wants, because he's a little pervert.
True.
2D.
2D. His theme song in Chapter 1 changes pitches based on how he feels. It keeps getting less and less in key. This doesn't happen often in the game.
I'm trying to think of other songs that play at multiple pitches. There's like, in the Weird Route, the soundtrack is songs that are stretched out like that.
Yes.
So
But
that's an
Roses does
alarming.
it.
Yeah, that's an alarming connection.
2E. He taps his foot and points his finger in time with the song Hip Shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is diegetic. Ta-da!
He's playing in his hip shop.
yeah.
Anyway, this is the bit I was doing as a joke. He has been everything. Item.
I have a nothing.
He's been an attack in Elena and Lenino's Chapter 4 dojo fight.
Which one was he?
He was the lampshade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was a lampshade. Aw, he's so cute.
Again, he inserts himself into someone else's thing without being there.
Yeah.
And this
'Cause
time he's attacked. Yeah,
Because he's the rules.
shopkeeper, regular NPC, he's an NPC in the
The
Tenna
Legend of
game.
Tenna.
He's a shopkeeper there as well. Boss. He's technically a party member. Because he does... You do mix everyone up into the thrash machine at the end of chapter 2.
Yeah.
So the point is he can do anything.
He can do anything. He isn't a light world NPC. He can't do that. And you can't equip or consume him.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Those are the only things he hasn't done.
Yeah.
Also, he has control of the inventory. Because he just leaves on his own.
Yeah.
At the very beginning when you enter Cyberworld. Mm-hmm. He also puts himself back. When he feels like. Compared to Lancer, who you have to manually let out of your pants hole when you get trapped in Queen's Mansion.
Yeah.
Rules card is a better item than Lancer.
Yeah, it's true.
We're power scaling here. This is the #1 power scaling podcast.
Oh my god, there's so much.
Where is it?
Oh, we have a whole... Okay, Section 8 is power scaling, turns out. Okay, great.
Funny thing I like to know, there does exist a sprite for an actual rules card to represent rules as an item. It doesn't appear in the game.
see.
Whereas Lance's card does. He just gets to be a sparkle and fucks off. He also gets a move as an item. That's cool. Don't think about that. What was that? That was F.
Yeah.
2G. He does the thing in Chapter 1, 2, and 3 where he darkens the screen. And his text gets at the top with narration, sometimes without text sounds, and sometimes without the asterisk before it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Very.
In Chapter 1, it's also one of the funniest jokes, because then it's Rules card.
Yeah. You think it's going to be the big bad.
His first line of dialogue that he actually speaks are, "So the worms have decided to crawl out and play," when he does do this screen darkening thing and there's no text sound. He doesn't speak like a weirdo in this one. Also his first line of the game.
Yeah.
Tricky Toby, you've done it again.
Interesting.
You've done it again.
So he can be scary.
2H. He starts and stops his own theme over and over just before his fight in Chapter 3.
Yeah.
The song is diegetic. Awesome. Also, he does it when Susie just interrupts him. Because he's nice.
He's polite.
He's kind. What is 2I? Oh yeah, his Chapter 3 boss fight. Where he pulls out his rules card and decides that the fight is not going to work like any other fight in the game.
Yeah. This is probably the most
make shit
immediately
up.
recognizable, like, picked up by many people instance of rules, like, making the rules.
Yeah.
Because he spells it out, right? He's like, I make the... What does he say exactly?
He says he makes his own rules.
Makes his own
up here.
rules, yeah. And then just... Yeah, there we go. And then just kind of does whatever he wants. So I think this is, like, this is the entry level understanding of rules.
Yeah.
He makes it explicit
This is the
himself.
entry level thing.
Yeah.
He uses his rules card, which means that you can only act throughout the fight.
Yeah.
On top of that, you can't actually use an act menu when you do act. You either do a pre-selected dance thing or you select a thing on a slot machine.
Yeah.
So he's just removed functionality of act as well. Lancer shows up, uses his Lancer card, and then rules card pulls out more rules card to fuck with the rules even more, and turns it into that slot machine game.
Yeah.
He does directly trap you in the game himself, instead of like running into you like enemies do.
Yes.
He decides when the battle starts, ends, and like changes tempo just by saying it. He does that a lot. Yeah, he does tell El Nino and La Nino to stop, and then the bullets do stop at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he says go again, they go. He then pulls out his laser pointer and interacts with the soul directly.
A little red light in the dark that the
Little red
bullets
light in the
follow.
dark.
It's true.
Yeah, he does that for the last part of the fight.
And the annoying dog appears in this fight as well.
Yes, it does.
The Demiurge appears in this fight.
Yeah. He has 4 shadow guys in this fight. They have 2 of them have bunny ears, 2 of them have cat ears. That's less important. They don't have hats.
Yeah.
Which means if you were able to use the act menu to do the sharpshoot skill, they don't have anything to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't be able to spare them anyway. This guy's fucked up.
This card is fucked up.
This card is fucked up. Jay. Rules is in 2 rooms at the same time during Castletown in Chapter 4.
I think I saw.
He's both in Queen's room and Tenna's room.
Just like Sans.
So he just walks back
Just
and
like
forth,
Sans.
or teleports.
Elenia says that she thinks she saw him moving between the 2 rooms repeatedly, but you never see him do it.
Okay.
And he can teleport.
We can just assume that he does teleport or walk.
He does one of the 2.
Okay.
Also, there is a scene at the end of Chapter 2 when you go back to Castletown. He interrupts Queen and King talking in the dungeon. He is simultaneously in your inventory and speaking to you.
Because he just comes in. Does he teleport in or come in from the left?
He walks in from the left, but he is in your inventory.
Cool.
Cool.
I have some more points up here. 2L. During Chapter 3, after Board 2, Tenna says, "And now a worm from our sponsor." And it has the funny screen of Rules crying about his worms.
Yeah.
Tenna doesn't know who the fuck this is. How did he do that? How did he do that?
I don't know.
He's also like right in front of Tenna multiple times. And Tenna doesn't understand what that is.
Okay, yeah.
That seems quite weird.
Suspicious.
I have another thing up here. Oh yeah, 2K. In his Chapter 3 fight, when the Shadow Guys throw yarn at you, he appears in the fight box.
Oh my god.
He does, huh?
It's nice.
So he could do anything.
He can show up fucking anywhere. He could be in
If
this
only
podcast.
there was another guy. He could be in the. If only there was another guy who says, "I can do anything." That would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be really
But it's interesting because Jevel is associated with freedom, right? His "I can do anything" is like breaking out of the game, but Rules has no shadow crystal. He has no freedom motif. He can only act sort of within the game.
But he's still doing whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
Weird. Creepy. And crap.
Okay.
Oh yeah. He's also a source of currency in Chapter 3.
-1 point.
I have nothing.
You can take a picture of him for -1 point.
Tina doesn't want to see him.
Doesn't want to see him. Sucks to look at. Sucks to be bad about. There's section 2. Did you like it?
I did like it.
There's so many sections.
I'm extremely alarmed about the length of this episode.
Hey, don't worry. There's only a few more.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Okay.
You'll be glad to know that section 3 is Chapter 2 puzzles, and I forgot what font I was using on the image. As I did say, the puzzles start being a joke after this point, mostly.
Yeah.
These are just all of the puzzles in Chapter 2.
Yeah, and Rules is not responsible for the Chapter 2 puzzles.
Yeah.
Rules is not responsible. A lot of them are significantly more complex and require thought compared to the Chapter 1 puzzles. Some of them are impossible to complete without someone making their own rules and fucking it up.
Yes.
Wink.
Wink.
There's even a few puzzles that combine elements from multiple. There's like the mouse house puzzle in Queen's Mansion. That's cool. There are a couple that are still basically nothing.
Yeah.
And you just mash things until it works, like the third light puzzle, where you just fill an entire block. But in each of the annoying mouse rooms, if you go back in after completing it, you find Rules Card's puzzle blocks, having invaded
Right.
the annoying mouse rooms.
Cool.
And they are called invasive species of puzzles, because he probably brought them with him from
Interesting.
Card Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's like a Peepus.
It's like a Peepus. These are
That's
his
like
infants.
how in the weird route the Peepuses start taking over all the puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
In the third one specifically, they raise the room down, and a lot of stuff is just gone. So his puzzle blocks are alive.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
This is babies.
And it's interesting because the Peepus is also referred to as a species of freshwater clam in flavor text.
Yes. This is also sadly important, so keep it in mind, bad style.
Okay, I'm keeping it in mind. I'm
I'm
remembering.
keeping my very bad style.
Yeah.
When Rules Card fights you in Chapter 2, he makes you do a stupid puzzle. He
Yes.
makes you do stupid houses puzzle.
Yeah, which Ralsei seems to imply is incredible. Which like has a bunch of fake mechanics that you think are important. Like it's like a
Yes.
city. It's like a city builder.
It is a fake city builder that you can, if you feel like it, complete in 2 turns.
Yeah.
It is harder to beat him through violence than it is to just act. If you beat him with violence, he doesn't give a shit. It doesn't actually defeat him. It doesn't matter if you win, draw, or lose. And it never comes up again. It's nothing. But fun facts. You can select Rules Card, your own boat, and the Thrash Machine with the Take Houses acts
I have no idea.
to get stupid little flavor text.
Huh.
Which, in the case of your own boat and the Thrash Machine, also imply they're alive
Okay.
and have a lot of agency of their own. So that's okay. That was much shorter than everything else, huh?
Yeah.
Chapter 2
That's great.
puzzles. They're weird. They're scary.
Section 4. Being a second in command, betrayal, and commanding.
Okay.
It's that big.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, it's only that big because I accidentally made the font a bit too big.
Okay. Okay. All right.
4A. When you talk to him in his shop in Chapter 1, he says he was appointed as the Lord or Duke of Puzzles. People use different titles for him. But also he says he was the last guy. Everyone else got fired or put in a cage. So he was basically just a shoo-in. He is one of the only guys to state that he likes King compared to everyone else. But at this point, he is pretty much the second most powerful guy in Card Kingdom because Lancer is Lancer.
Yeah.
Lancer is just a little guy and he doesn't do... He's fine. He also specifically styles himself as Duke of Puzzles compared to everyone else, and Dukes are directly ranked below Kings.
As my Crusader
a-
Kings.
Yeah.
This is like a real world fact.
See, this is an educational game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 2B. When you defeat K Round that he's controlling, he pretends that he's not owned, and then he switches sides to you and pretends that you're his best friend.
Yeah.
In this specific instance, when you talk to him after beating King, he does position himself above you. He says the Tale of Rules card and the 3 heroes.
Interesting. So he's not their second in command.
Interesting. He's above them. I believe I have another thing down here. Yep, here it is. Question. Why does Rules want to become someone's second in command? Toby. He wants to be a big shot, but doesn't want to be burdened with the responsibility. So second place is the best.
And that's from a new
Interview.
with a Japanese magazine whose name I do not recall from this week that I will link in the description.
Yes. That's fun. Big shot.
Big shot.
Oh.
Big shot.
Big shot.
Don't think about that.
Yeah.
There's 2B. 2C.
Because fucking Rules has to be connected rhetorically to every single goddamn important character in this game for some reason.
Don't worry about it. So 2C, he forces you into fighting K Round again by putting a control crown on it, which lets him control disc-shaped life forms. It hurts K Round when it wears it, but it was going to attack you anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter. You can't fight. You can't fight K Round to death. It will just heal itself over and over again.
Yeah.
If you do try to use violence, you have to act it to spare it. The control crown that Rules uses is also alive, also a living thing. You can interact with it if you skip Rules' dialogue after that fight. It flies off and lives a better life. You also cannot interact with Rules in any way during the battle. So here he is commanding something. That's fine. 2D. He tells you that he's gonna go find a new evil ruler right at the beginning. He just tells you that he tells you everything he's doing all the time.
Yeah.
He's not hiding anything.
He's very transparent and honest. Maybe because he's so powerful that he doesn't need to be. That he doesn't need to use deceit.
He specifically asks that you bring in an evil ruler at the beginning parts of chapter 2, but wants to not be employed by Lancer, so Lancer is not evil ruler enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag peace.
Hashtag peace and love.
2E. He pretends to be on your team, and then immediately jumps out when you get into Cyberworld.
Mm-hmm.
Talked a little bit about that before. So he's betrayed you again. He's just left. He told you he was going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2F. After he leaves your inventory, he floats his way to Queen's Mansion, finds Swatch, wants to become the biggest butler in the world, gets told no. At another point, he finds Task Manager, thinks she's Queen, attempts to become her minion, gets shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, his Chapter 2 boss fight, he's capturing those little houses so that he could give them to Queen.
Yeah.
He's very stupid.
He made a puzzle to impress
He
her.
invented a puzzle that didn't matter
Courtship ritual.
to impress her with her own house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's definitely switched sides here. In the weird route, you can't fight him. He is petrified in front of Color Cafe. Mm-hmm. You never learn about his betrayal. And he stays your friend.
So it would be too much. It'd be too much of an emotional blow, you know.
Just like Lancer sleeping through the weird route.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're too silly for what's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly. So, 2G. His Chapter 2 boss fight has him on the thrash machine that you make in Chapter 1. The funny little thing. Once again, he never directly attacks. Every attack that he has is either dropping those puzzle blocks on you or making the thrash machine do its various attacks, which are based on its pieces that it has.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the fight, you get the flavor text, Thrash Machine reluctantly fights you. The Thrash Machine is alive.
Oh my god, I know what's going to happen with Rule's card in the future.
He's gonna die.
No. I mean, maybe. But no, I'm assuming you get to this, but this is crazy.
This is insane.
It's a bit insane. Also, if you have the duck Thrash Machine, it falls in love with your swan boat.
I did not know that.
That's hilarious.
If you do use violence to defeat Rule's card, you only attack him, not the Thrash Machine. Mm-hmm. Also, a thing that I don't think I have written down anywhere. This is the only time when you get to use violence against him. Susie never can.
Huh.
And she hates him the most out of the entire party.
Yeah. I
Because
think
Susie
Chris.
isn't in this part of the game.
I think Chris likes him.
Chris plays his
Yes.
theme on piano.
I think this is my one intuitive opinion coming into this, and my one intuitive opinion coming into this, and two, my called shot right now is I think Chris likes Rule's card a lot.
You'll be really happy with me later.
All right.
I'm gonna ride the lightning.
Rule's card falls over and he becomes a shithead. He blows up his own puzzle.
Yeah.
Also, at the end of his fight, he starts powering up, which seems to be doing it both to him and the Thrash Machine, who still hates that it's doing this. Also, he uses Sweet Captain Cakes' junk shop to build the Thrash Machine based on the blueprints that he finds in the Card Kingdom dump.
Yeah.
So he spends this entire fight commanding things that you made, basically.
Yeah.
That's great. That's fine. And once again, I have down here, if you defeat him through violence, nothing really changes. He just mentions that you beat fuck out of him, and that's it.
Nice.
Rules never changes.
The Thrash Machine never petrifies.
Interesting.
That's awesome. 2G.
2H.
He puts the thrash machine into the big robot at the end, takes credit for doing everything. And here I have, he shows up in this cutscene both as part of your inventory and in the cutscene. And while he's here, like, he went back to your side to give you the thrash machine, calls himself your humblest servant in your inventory, immediately tries to become Queen's second in command again.
No, he calls himself your humble servant and
Yes.
friend in the chapter 3. In the chapter 3 S-rank room says always at your humble service. No, why is he connected to everything? Why?
Don't worry about it.
And the demon voice in the code in Undertale says, I will serve you to the utmost.
We love fun, don't we?
Ah! Why is rules important?
Now we go up here.
Oh my god. There's so much. There's so much.
4I. Rules is in your inventory at the end of chapter 2.
Yeah.
He once again leaves before Chris and Susie wake up. And when he first shows up, he has one piece of dialogue where he's telling you he wants to be Tenna's second in command.
Yep.
But he's just asking you on how to do it. Why would you know? And why would he know that you know it?
Does Tenna know that Chris knows? Does Rules know that Chris has prior experience with Tenna? That Chris has a deal with Tenna? He's standing right next to fucking goddamn Ram. No.
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 I have nothing.
I'm so mad.
I have nothing.
So 4J, he shows up in the middle of right at the end of the board 1 fight against El Nino and El Nino Baba. I keep fucking it up.
It was at this time that the special guest was accidentally homophobic despite being gay also. An apology video has been produced in full earnesty in order to re-obtain your favor.
Immediately trying to court them or implying that he's going to do it. He accidentally makes a shop and you steal his blocks away from him. Those aren't his anymore. And then he has nothing.
I have nothing.
Makes you wonder why he's constantly trying to be someone's second in command. He has nothing.
Red glowing eyes, evil route. I haveth everything.
He does end up being one of the lovers at the end of chapter 2, which gets you to Atlantis, and then makes a throuple with those idiots.
Yeah.
Once again, Rose isn't really doing anything to you during this part of the game. He's just being bisexual.
God bless him.
Just like Clover.
He isn't paying attention to anything that you're doing either. He's in the S-rank changing room after board 1, doesn't even turn around to look at you while he's doing his makeup. Then when you talk to him after board 2, he thinks that you haven't done the cooking show yet.
Yeah.
He isn't your enemy.
He's not even here for you.
He isn't doing the second in command thing because he wants to fight you. He's doing it because he wants to be the second in command because he has nothing.
Yeah.
And at this point, he has love, so he's like just fine.
Yeah.
Rules card time.
Everything's good for him.
Like, notably, he doesn't petrify in this world.
Yep. Haha. Stay tuned.
All right.
4K shows up again when you're escaping after board 3. Immediately once again says he's not here to fight you. He doesn't care anymore. He has love. But does mention partially that's because he thinks he already is Tenna's second in command.
Yeah.
Because he's with the weather. But like, for this moment, while he is convinced about this, he isn't here to fight you. He's just number 2. He's just getting snacks.
Yeah, he did his job.
That's awesome. When he does realize that he doesn't get to be second in command because he's part of the thruple, he does begin to start a fight with you, but he specifically does it non-violently, quote unquote. He also admits that you would kick his ass if you did it violently. So in the span of a few seconds, he's betrayed you again.
Mm-hmm. Oh god.
It keeps happening. For L, he uses his rules card to command everything.
Yeah.
He has minions, which do attacks for him, and then he does something that is suspiciously close to how Chris uses acts.
Yeah.
With the laser pointer.
Oh my god.
And also, after the fight, am I going to cough? No. El Nino and La Nino, they're uncomfortable with the way that he commanded them.
Is he a proxy for Chris?
Is he weird rooting the weather duo?
Is he like a proxy for Chris? Is he like a in character proxy for Chris? Is that what's going on?
Ignore this box.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You've foreseen everything.
Ignore that box.
Oh my god, he's
go.
Dark World Chris.
Here we go.
Like,
M.
Fuck my life.
He steals Tenna's debit card.
Oh my god.
And replaces it with one of his rules cards. That's how Tenna can do all of that during board 3. Tenna also doesn't notice. And rules card is using Tenna's debit card to pay the shadow guys. Although after the fight, he runs away and doesn't pay them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So basically, Rules is kind of a little bit responsible for everyone leaving Tenna. Because he doesn't have money anymore. And also gave El Nino and La Nino the realization they needed to get out as well. It's kind of his fault. And he only stops the fight when he gets re-betrayed. And then he leaves with his snacks. Don't worry about it. Where's N? There you are. In Chapter Plus Castletown, he's trying to second in command and fuck again.
Yeah.
He's so into it. He's in 2 places at once. He's less about the second in command thing, and this one he's just going back for love.
Yeah.
And he's so into love at this point, he doesn't put himself in your inventory conspicuously. But he does also put himself in the dojo fight, as I've he also talks about Tenna. He's the only person to talk about Tenna after you give it to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
No one else cares. Anyway. Oh. This one has a lot of text.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So why doesn't he continue his consistent attempts to become someone's minion in Chapter 4? It's not like the game isn't committed to its stupidest running gags. It's pretty integral to Rules' character, and even the gag side of it develops considerably between chapters. Points that I've more or less gone over in this section. Doesn't really want to fight the party per se. He's like a Team Rocket villain, which I took from the document you made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of just wants to be someone's second in command for the sake of being that. Usually an evil leader, which isn't Lancer. And more than that, he just wants the love. When he has 2 partners, he wants more.
He's greedy.
So those are he's greedy. With those in consideration, plus other sections, welcome to my game theory. Or welcome my game theory. I'm sorry.
All right. We got special guest Matt Pat on the show today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of things that I just spitballed about. So he puts himself in your inventory in Chapter 2, and he's still there in Chapter 3. He goes with you. He could be doing that because he's just going to be there wherever you go so that he could neg you into making him your number one psychic.
Uh-huh.
In Chapter 3, Ram does mention that darkness from different Dark Worlds know each other. Ram knows Swatch and Queen.
Interesting.
Very specifically. Rules does immediately try to go find Queen, and immediately gets to where she is at the beginning of Chapter 2, and does so with Tenor. Rousey appears in all of the new Dark Worlds without going into Chris's inventory. He can go wherever he wants. Rules can also teleport and go wherever he wants. He does this frequently. Rousey says that he senses the Dark Worlds opening. It's possible that Rules also did. Because the library Dark World was opened within that span of time that you're checking out the castle town at the beginning of Chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, he could feel it. In the TV world's case, he was just kind of in your inventory. So that one was convenient. Specifically with this one, it would mean that he either didn't know anyone from the Sanctuary Dark Worlds, or didn't sense it being formed, or that it was formed after Chris and Susie had already left the castle town. I think it's probably that last one is the most likely. He just didn't have time to put himself in your inventory. That's it. He fucked up. So there's one idea.
It doesn't have a boss, also, unless
it does. It has the knight.
Okay, I assume you predicted this. Yes,
Ignore the big red text.
You've seen the big red text
Right.
in the bottom of the screen.
2, as we've done a little about, he might have known what King does, because at the end of different chapters, he warns you about Queen, he warns you about the Knight, despite the fact that you've already done that. King is one of the few guys who actually talks to Rules, could have told him some of these things as a last-ditch attempt to get revenge or whatever. But also King doesn't like him. Might have given him some of the information, but probably hasn't told Rules about the Knight or where the Knight might be. Which, again, as we talked about with the Jevil prison, probably a wise idea to make Rules not be the squire.
Yeah.
I
as it
mean,
were.
King never even met the knight directly. Jevil was the go-between.
Yep. So there's two guys that you don't want Rules with. Cool. 3. Rules did know about the Knight and the Sanctuary Dark Worlds in Chapter 4, but for one reason or another did not consider the Knight to be suitable for him to become the right hand of, which would imply either Rules thinks that the Knight is so evil that they're not the right kind of person for him to work for, or he doesn't consider the Knight an evil ruler, like Lancer.
Yeah.
This is a joke theory, but the latter would be fucked up. 4. Rules doesn't need to look for a new employer or lover, because everyone in Castletown is there. He doesn't need to go out of his way to slut it up anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is right in front of him. Also, he's been beaten up by the fuck squad 3 times. Just give him a break. 5. Carrying on for 2 or 3, either knows about the Knight and decide against going towards it, or knows bits and pieces of what King knows. He might just be biding his time and hoping for future Dark Worlds where there is a right evil ruler for him. Who knows? Maybe he wants to become Asgore's best friend. Who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows?
I befriended your dad last night.
6. He's waiting for the right time to ally himself with the Knight. 7. He already has. He's just not needed yet. It wouldn't be a betrayal because the Knight and Chris are already working together.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Wait, maybe that would be why Chris would cry. Chris and Rules don't have any friction or dislike each other, because if Rules is also working with the Knight and Chris is working with the Knight.
Okay, I'm gonna do another prediction. Is obviously this has been predicted before, but that Rules' intervention on a relationship, and the fallout of that is kind of presaging another, thruple or like another intervention, maybe in chapter 5 with the heartbreak. What was it? Jealousy on the field of pink and gold or whatever, you know. So I like sick to my stomach. I feel like queasy saying this, but I really think like Rules Card is like an allegorical like
Parallel for Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Really sucks. Oh my god. I'm gonna be sick.
No. Number 8, he just figured out that he's gonna get petrified eventually, so he's just not doing it.
Oh god, they're both blue. Oh
no, they're both blue.
Wait, they're both blue? Whoa, what?
Oh my god. Fuck.
So that was 4.
Yeah.
Next we have chapter 3 and 4 puzzles. Do you like my puzzles effort?
Yeah. I love your puzzles effort.
There's a bunch of puzzles in 3 and 4. Some of them are thematically resonant and have character color coding, like the dual octave piano puzzle in chapter 4.
Yeah.
All of these are cooler than Rules is, even the block pushing puzzles in board 1. This one is impossible. Why didn't you push him? It's because Rules Card is the blocks guy. It sucks when they push his blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get it yet? He sucks at puzzles and that's important.
Yeah.
Blah,
It
blah,
is.
blah. Where is 6? Oh, here it is.
Right to 6.
So as you can tell, some of these are very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 6, P-Jack, February 6th, 2023. Do you still want me? Or, who even likes Rules Card?
I do.
I do.
The king vaguely tolerates him in chapter 1, doesn't fire or imprison him, lets him be the Duke of Puzzles, and he gets to be Lance's lesser father. Great. He has an ally. Rousey. One of the only characters to consistently acknowledge Rules' presence. Not hostile towards him, even after enduring battles. If you do hit him with violence in his chapter 2 fight, Rousey calls it a moral loss that you did so.
Oh god.
Also actually defers to Rules when Lancer is in trouble.
Yeah.
Fun. One specific Rudin from chapter 1, who appears in his 2 puzzle rooms after you leave and come back again, who sighs and basically huffs the air he walks in, also uses the word hunk specifically,
Oh my god. Gay ass.
which
Rudin.
Clover also does.
Yeah.
Gay ass.
Loves
Rudin.
block pushing, sucking and fucking by instinct alone, just walking into the room. This idiot walks into the second one without even really meaning to. Actually breathless by Rules Card. Clover calls Rules Card a hunk. Holds puzzle secrets. Immediately betrays him and drops the infatuation due to being boy crazy. When you do the Clover fight, Clover immediately starts latching onto Rousey instead. This is important. La Nina and El Nino. They think he's hot. They don't really like him.
Yeah.
But he's hot.
One specific swatchling in chapter 4. Gathering worms, which are important to Rules' relationship with Lancer. In Lancer's room. Getting those worms. Understands this. Might have been there when Rules got beat up by Swatch in chapter 2. It would make sense. This Swatchling is nervous about it. Does he want to keep Rules for himself? And the final bullet point is Butler.
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 Lancer. Probably the most positive about Rules Card of all characters in the game.
Yeah.
Rules is effectively his actual dad because King doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Lancer likes his skill and athleticism, specifically calls him Dadrabatic Lesser when he leaves your inventory. Lancer develops an anti-dad agenda at the end of chapter 1, but Rules is never affected by it. Never mad at him. Warns him about the shadow guys who are about to shoot him with guns. And loves it when Rules Card gives him worms and burpings.
Yeah.
Just an awesome guy. And it's actually genuinely very reciprocal.
Yeah.
Rules
This
likes
was-
Lancer.
this was like when I talked about this at the beginning of the Chris episode, like what I cared about in Deltarune prior to chapters 3 and 4. But this was like genuinely like maybe the only thing that that I had an emotional investment in chapter 1. Obviously, was like Rules being the lesser dad, and then in chapter 2 to a lesser extent being like, wow, I think it's very sweet that Rules is lesser dad.
Yeah,
you know. So
Dad.
He's lesser dad.
He's nice. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Shadow
Sweet
guys
Captain
up there.
Cakes. Yeah, ignore the blowjob brothers. Sweet Captain Cakes. They provide service to Rules Card, who probably couldn't pay them.
Yeah.
But they love him. They think he's really high class. They can't understand him. They don't care. They're in awe. They allowed him to take credit for the final battle. Fuck. One rabbit in chapter 4 wants his autograph in the S rank room.
Oh my god.
That's it. And then, of course, the 4 shadow guys from his chapter 3 fight. I don't know why I put 4 here. I messed up. They love that he promised to pay them. You ever notice how they started just being rabbits and cats and doing yarn instead of shooting guns now that they were less stressed and liked him more?
Oh my god.
This is a subtle reference to the fact that Deltarune is furry propaganda.
Also, they have bullets that say rules. That's nice. Number 7. P-Jack. July 21st, 2024. I just wish I could get one good day. Who dislikes Rules cards?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Including Tricky Tony.
Most Card Kingdom characters. Got them imprisoned and employed. Swatch. Task Manager. Fucked. They hate him. This is a Rules statue. Ignore that. King. Calls him lesser father with venom in his voice. Mad about it. Susie hates Rules Card. Susie is the only one to object Rules coming with them, but the flavor text says Rules became an item even though nobody wanted that. And then I point out here how Susie can't attack him. Susie wants to kill this fucking guy.
Queen.
Queen doesn't have a goddamn clue who he is. Calls him not very bright in chapter 4, instinctively. I does not notice his good ass.
Does not notice his good ass. Lies about his ass.
Tenor does not have a goddamn clue who he is. Does not appreciate his Rules card. If he'd ever figured out who it was, he'd be mad at him for making most of that happen at the end of chapter 3 where everyone left.
Yeah.
Goes out of his way to insult the lamp. Again, as instinct. Calls it small ass. Clarifies what he means when he's calling the lamp stupid.
Lies about his ass.
Even though he advertised Rules worms. Tricky Tony himself hates Rules card.
No. This is also what compelled me the most in chapter 1 and 2 was Toby seemingly hating this character.
Rules card used to have an epic battle theme. It's pretty good. I like it. But it was cut from the game. Because Tony thought Rules wouldn't have a song as epic as that. Because Rules sucks.
He's not very epic at all.
He's not very epic at all, despite the fact that he can teleport. And in the Undertale 6th anniversary stream, Toby Fox said, and I was like, thinking that everyone was going to hate that guy, but I guess not. Hatred. His rules card sprite. It doesn't exist. Here's the duck flag for his chapter 2 boat, which was cut. Here is cut content of Rules putting his puzzle blocks in the board 1 puzzles. Cut content. You could fight Rules card in the cut board 3, and it references the worm commercial. Rules might have done more puzzles. Rules has dialogue sounds that were cut. They don't let you use blocks. Does Tony Fox hate Rules? Ignore this sideways text. that states I might bring back the cut content to make a point.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that. So that was 7. That's
Yep.
everyone who hates rules card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Power
8.
scaling.
Oh, God.
All right, let's go. Power scaling.
8A, refer to everything in Section 2 with him interacting with the game.
Yep.
8B, he teleports. He can teleport himself, he can go wherever he wants, he can bring other living things and environments with him, he can bring inanimate things like big boats with him, and just do a lot of people. They kind of fell out of his teleport beam
Yeah.
as well.
He just dragged him along.
They being El Nina and Lenino.
Yes.
Remember,
That's-
some of our
that's-
listeners can't see this.
I keep forgetting I don't say things. See, he goes wherever he wants. When he does actually physically move, Rules Card does it really, really quickly. Like, he doesn't even have a sprite that, like a walking animation. He just kind of slides across the floor really quick. He's in 2 places at once. 8D. This is a power. I
Yeah.
wanted to bring it up here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does have at the very least some kind of engineering knowledge. He built the thrash machine.
He's a STEM
That's
major.
important.
No.
He's a STEM major.
I'm joking.
No.
Not AF. He has a power-up at the end of his Chapter 2 fight, which also affects the thrash machine. He doesn't get to do it because he gets petrified. 8G. Rules is only partially petrified during his Chapter 2 fight. He doesn't respond like he's in pain or sick in the same way that Lancer does. And Lancer's also takes place over like a protracted period of time. Like he'll slowly lose his hue and then he just all goes. It also takes Rules a lot longer to petrify in Chapter 2 than Lancer. But they are in the Dark World for the same amount of time. Let's go all the way up here. In Chapter 3, Lancer acknowledges that he has some time left before he turns to stone when he meets you in the green room after the first board. He's never actually shown petrifying. He is perfectly fine throughout the entire chapter. Rules doesn't mention anything like petrification, or show signs of it either. Chapter 3 takes place over a shorter period of time than Chapter 2. That's like a few hours compared to most of the day. But here's some more points about that. Ram also half petrifies if you are doing the sword route, sort of similar to how Rules does in Chapter 2. But Ram is visibly pained by it, and he can't move at all. You have to push him out the way to do the last round of the original video game. Outside of the sword route, he fully petrifies by the time you get to the last time you go to the green room, which is odd. Also, in Chapter 2's weird route, he fully petrifies much earlier than he does in the regular route outside of Color Cafe, which does mean that you cannot basically kill him in the weird route. That's convenient for him, isn't it? When Starwalker first appears in Chapter 4, it's in the second sanctuary that Susie made. And when he first shows up, he's immediately petrified, and all of the wafer guys are, revering him as, an ancient thing. But then he appears again in the third sanctuary completely fine. Let's go over here. Rousey's specific wording about why that happens to certain people in different Dark Worlds is that the world reflects the will of the fountain, and by extension, it reflects the will of the person who made the fountain.
Yeah.
And Rousey specifically says they might not belong if they go to another one.
God, he features so heavily in the one fountain that Chris made. Oh my god. Oh.
So here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Starwalker is petrified in Chapter 4's second sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that Susie made.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Starwalker, though. Why wouldn't Starwalker belong in a world that Susie made? It's probably because she was too busy thinking about other things. Gerson doesn't appear in Susie's world, which is a stark difference, and also quite important. Even though she wanted him to, and instead that fucked up Shadow, the statue, does as well. Gerson also shows up wherever he wants when he feels like it and kind of teleports. But anyhow, in Chapter 3, as you mentioned, that's the one that Chris makes.
Yeah, he never petrifies. Because of the will of the creator.
Rules is fine the entire time, never at any point affected. Lancer is also fine. Which means this is a place that he theoretically belongs in. But that would also imply that Ram doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But also, depending on the route you're doing, sword route or without it, he petrifies at the same time in different ways.
Yeah.
Which implies Chris is affecting the will of the world as time goes on.
Yeah.
Like, actively, rather than at the point that they made the world.
Yeah.
Which also has some implications about how and why Rules fully petrifies earlier in the Chapter 2 weird route where he can't be harmed. Similarly, Lancer fully petrifies in your pocket before he usually does. So it would kind of imply it's not based on where the object is from originally or if it's like in the area that the Dark World is created. It's based on basically whoever made it, what they feel at the time. It would be weird if Chris specifically went ahead and petrified Rules during the weird route to prevent him from getting harmed.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Or that reflected
Fuck.
Chris's will in some way, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, I have a bunch of other shit down here which goes over all of that.
Yeah.
Like how there's a Zapper from Chris's house that petrifies compared to a Pippin's from Card Kingdom, which doesn't.
The Zapper was stolen from Caddy's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, like, they have that specific dialogue where, like, oh, aren't Pippins from Card Kingdom? Why did that happen? But yeah. What was I going to say? Either way, Rules does get petrified after Lancer, which can also just be implied, like, he's a stronger guy than Lancer. He's more immune to magic.
Yeah. Alternately, that Chris likes him more than Lancer.
Also likes him more than Lancer.
Oh my god.
His 8H, in Cyberworld, his HP is 600, his attack is 9. In TV World, these are unused stats, but his HP is 1 and his attack is 10. His defense is always 0. None of them matter, because even if you beat him up, it doesn't matter. But before his Chapter 2 fight, he's apparently wounded a bunch by Swatch and Task Manager, so he might have more health than you would be led to believe.
Yeah.
8i, you can't discard the cards in Chris's Light World inventory.
There's no getting rid of them.
Yeah.
There's no getting rid of either of them.
They're too
You are, like, physically prevented by the wind of doing so.
The only other
there's
items
a-
you can't get rid of in the same way are, like, the Thorn Ring.
Yup. Number 9. Imitation and Facade. So Rules card speaks funny. He passes himself off as kind of like a fancy man.
Yeah.
With his various fancy hobbies like calligraphy and doing fake bullshit cursive with his calligraphy pen and all the vandalizing he does, which in a lot of ways they like kind of impede him doing a proper job because he's doing fancy scribbles.
Yeah.
He uses ye olde English and like in the Japanese the mixture of English loan words and old and modern Japanese. He uses it wrong. And it gets worse or fades away completely when he's mad. It's like it's something that he's putting on purpose.
Yeah.
Because he wants people to have a different opinion of him. His first line he speaks regularly, so the worms have decided to crawl out and play. He specifically goes to regal-sounding titles to describe himself. He calls himself Vice Father as opposed to Lesser Father in Chapter 2. And specifically goes for Duke of Puzzles. Because it sounds better than Lord. And it also puts him below a king. He also decides to be a pirate very briefly. Because he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
Or else he tells him to stop doing it, he does immediately. The only... idea of what he might sound like is at the end of his battle theme. It's the hey.
Yeah.
That's him saying it.
Hey.
That's kind of a normal hey.
Hey, yes.
This is that's not a fanciful sir.
Yeah.
That's a guy with a band who likes music. He has a bunch of hobbies, which he lists in his shop dialogue in chapter 1. But he talks about them like they're his dating profile best hobbies. Because he ends it with, at long walks in the dungeon, are you one of my admirers? It's as if he's giving off the impression that everything that he is makes him hot, makes him alluring, makes him handsome and daring and genius.
True.
None of the ways he describes himself are the same that other people do. Like the rude in calling him a hunk. He never uses anything like that. He just calls himself ambiguously hot.
Hot.
And every single time you kind of clown on him, he pretends like he's not about to do it. And this happens at least once in every chapter.
Yeah.
When he gets petrified, when he gets divorced, he pretends that he doesn't care about Lancer very briefly.
Yeah.
Because he desperately needs to be a second in command. He goes completely silent when Tenna calls the lamp stupid. He pretends he left the puzzle on when Queen and King don't recognize him as the person he's talking about. He does incredibly stupid things so that he can just consistently go, hey, the thing I think is right. He bribes Susie with worms to get her to stop talking about how he was their enemy. But very rarely, you actually get to see how he cares.
Yeah.
And the only time you do is when he's crying about his worms. Which, considering that Tenna doesn't really seem to notice rules, this feels like it's a private moment that's being broadcast on TV. Which is sad.
It's very sad.
But there are other things that Rules does as hobbies that he doesn't openly talk about, such as knitting the dainty scarf that he sells in chapter 1, which increases Ralsei's healing, is only equipable by Ralsei, and increases his fluffiness stat.
My god.
And it's made of doilies.
Wow.
But like, if there was anyone else who couldn't talk about their hobbies in a weird way, it's a picture of a cat.
Oh no, it's another Chris parallel.
My
No.
god.
It's got to be. So, his theme in his shop in chapter 1 is hip shop. He taps his foot to the beat. It's diegetic, there's sparkles around. He likes the music. Hip shop is also Swatch's shop theme. It's a better shop.
No.
In every way.
No.
It's more... People actually like you might be the only customer to Rules' shop because everyone else hates him and doesn't have money. But Color Cafe has a gift shop, and people go in and out a lot. Swatch is also one of the people that Rules seeks out initially, attempting to basically become him instead. He wants to become the Butler Supreme, and immediately gets owned. So here's someone doing the thing that Rules is doing, but better.
Yeah.
Scroll down. The hip shop leitmotif is also in the TV world track and Dump, which plays in the S rank and Z rank rooms in chapter 3. Rules is in the S rank room with Dump playing. Rules also has his own leitmotif. It's in his unused battle song, his self-titled song where he teleports in, and in his battle theme, It's Pronounced Rules. 50% of It's Pronounced Rules is Lance's leitmotif. Also, Chris plays both TV World and It's Pronounced Rules on the piano in chapter 4.
God. My god.
C. He claims that he doesn't know what it is, calling it an effigy of an ancient god of combat, but he makes a working copy of the Thrash Machine after he gets the blueprints and brings it to the junk shop. Ignores whatever Ralsei's saying about it, and then uses it in an attempt to thrash Chris and Ralsei's own ass with their own machine. He pirates it. I think that's funny. I think that he pirated their design. That's funny.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Funny. Also, yeah, it's alive. Again.
Because it's battling
Thrash
you
machine
reluctantly. Yeah.
He then puts it into the big machine when you fight Giga Queen. It becomes the head, and it gives it some very important abilities.
God.
So I'm gonna tell you what's here. It's from the opening of Chapter 1, where you make the vessel, specifically the lines, your wonderful creation will now be discarded.
In two different
And
voices.
also, in different voices, and also one from the sword route in Chapter 3 of You Are Used Up. The Thresh Machine doesn't appear after this. Anyway. Rules card... This is point D. Rules card, in all of his battles, he never attacks you directly. He doesn't have his own attacks. He doesn't have any of his own abilities. Every single fight he does, he is commanding someone else. And some of the time, they're uncomfortable or in pain about it.
Oh my
So
god.
Chris's title is Level 3 Tactician, commands the party by acts. And Rules does make you act a lot in his Chapter 3 fight.
Oh my god.
By the way, when Rules gets out his laser pointer, he adopts the same pose as the knight and Chris, pointing. It's the same hand, and they have the other hand, kind of.
One of the preview images we were sent was this, what Lucretia's hovering over now, which is a 3-panel comparison of Chris pointing and the knight pointing, and between the two, Rules pointing with his laser pointer, and it made me feel insane at work, and I feel insane now as Lucretia scrolls into it.
But it's like fine, because when Rules does it, it's usually a comedy moment, and it's never really that bad. Here's some cop dialogue from the Board 3 thing.
Elnina, Rules, how long do I have to cry? Lenino, Rules, I...
Oh, Lenino, dearest, don't cry. That's the first rules of relationships. Also, thous crying ability seems useless.
And then there's that one line in Chapter 4 of how long will it take her to cry?
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh
So
no,
his he enters into a throuple with good old El Nino and La Nino, just like Chris, Susie, and Rousey.
Yeah.
But then he discovers that they're not like that.
Yeah.
Point F. So Rules card might have cut dialogue sounds. And it's interesting because he does get the text box portrait, but no unique dialogue sounds.
Yeah.
In Chapter 4, Noelle says of Chris speaking in Chapter 2, everything that came out of their mouth sounded odd, like it was on speaker or something. And I have written here, well, sure, sometimes stuff is cut from a game because it doesn't fit or you're not satisfied with it, but on the other hand, what if it was the case that the both of them were unable to speak with their own voices?
My head is in my hands.
God damn
My
it.
head is in my hands.
God damn it.
I wish it got worse. That would be great. Where's 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so parallels
Okay,
between
hold up.
Rules card and other characters.
Hold up, before you reveal this, just really quick, I know we're pressed for time. I'm going to read, I wrote on a notepad. Somewhere around part 6, I got a notepad out, and I just started writing all the parallels that I picked up on, because you've given me a kind of, like, horrible divine revelation. So I just want to read off real quick. On my notepad, Chris equals Rules, really big. Lesser dad, question mark, really big. Second in command, really big, blue. Pointing, betray, royal guard, question mark, thruple, jealousy, question mark, never petrifies in Chapter 3, tactician, putting on a cool facade, and then big and underlined twice, weird.
Weird.
They're weird.
But anyway, as it has here, A with Chris and the blue, and they got pauldrons. That's about it.
Yeah.
Right? There's not. I didn't make that entire last one.
No, there's nothing.
based on
There's
that
nothing more
alone.
to it than that. Probably.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, B. Remember Mr. Society?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I miss him every day.
They're kind of the same. They're both kind of affluent, or they.
I hope we can climb that cliff in chapter 5 and go bother him.
Yes, they got similar idol poses. They're kind of shitty cowards who don't do anything. Mrs. Society leaves Castletown in chapter 2 immediately after giving a line about the Castletown being nice but lacking something, which Rules also does. And Rules also leaves with you immediately afterwards. They both take credit for King's downfall in ways they didn't earn. They both constructed something weird that they don't understand and is very beneficial. Mrs. Society was partially responsible for fixing the warp door. Thrash Machine for Rules. Mrs. Society is ignored by mostly everyone else. Only Mr. Elegance and Jigsaw Joe really talk about Mrs. Society. He's just gone and no one cares. Ralsei! I went over this a little bit. They're both similar kinds of fruits. Rules made the scarf that only Ralsei can use. Ralsei is ignored a lot. Ralsei is made a butler immediately after entering Queen's Mansion, and is revered by the Swatchlings, even though he quits immediately.
He's a high-powered butler.
High efficient butler. D. Birdley.
Berkeley?
Berkeley?
Birdley. Well, they're blue. That's interesting. They're both annoying. They both think they're so fucking great. Birdley has his entire flashback thing about wanting a world where he can be number 1 and number 2.
Oh my god.
They're frequently ignored until they started having the annoying personality. I'll speak no more on this, but Metaton is immediately underneath.
You scrolled down to the Metaton, just to the text, and I saw his face, and I gasped.
They got similar kinds of transgender flamboyance about them.
Yeah.
And here it says, see lesser dad section.
Oh my god.
They got similar poses, but inverted. Metaton is probably nobody in hometown. He's ignored, he has no fans, and gets a boner about tenor.
It's true.
Just like Rules.
Just like Rules.
Burger pants. They're both pretending to not be going through it. Most moronic homosexual romance subplot, where someone is lying.
No.
They both have no money.
No money.
G. Oh, fuck, Gaster.
Oh, fuck, Gaster.
So here's pictures of Gaster, the Forgotten Man tree, and Rules side by side.
It was Gaster all along.
Gaster and Rules have the same face markings, the little lines going up and down on the same sides. Why is Rules the only guy that gets the hands in this text box?
He speaks in hands.
He speaks with hands. They all frequently appear between rooms. Chapters 1, 2, and 3's egg rooms are right next to puzzle rooms. Rules is the puzzle guy. The Forgotten Man shows up in random places in the light world, just like Rules can. Everyone forgets about Gaster, Rules, and the Forgotten Man. The fucking Thrash Machine / Vessel parallel. You can't encounter the Forgotten Man or Rules in Chapter 2's Weird Route.
Oh my
This
god.
is so fucked up.
Both of them are made inaccessible. Anyway, H, the original Blowjob Brothers.
This is sweet Cap'n Cakes.
Yeah, Sweet Captain Cakes already went over this. They want to win the woman for win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one sucked to say. I'm surprised I did it. And then I, the Captains from Chapter 4. They're annoying, chivalrous morons who are constantly trying to win over a blue lady. They don't realize how annoying they're being.
Yeah.
They suck at puzzles. The Captains can't climb, and Rules is Rules. The times when they actually attempt to impede you, they don't. They are worthless. Late game allegiance shift. And they do show up in weird places a lot. The captains stack themselves to appear in places which are extremely helpful to you, after mostly hating you the rest of the time. But there's all the parallels that anyone gives a shit about. Now I want to talk to you about some real stuff. This really stretched out PNG of Rules' face from his Chapter 3 slot.
Yeah.
Do you like this?
Yeah, it's good.
Anyway, Section 11, the lesser father or the transfeminized.
Transfeminized zone. This is another thing I picked up on. This is what, honestly, this is about as deep as I can think about Rules cards. I'll bring in how he's he's kind of like an effeminized, like lesser man. Like, I think that's interesting, right? That's probably why nobody likes him. He's not like a Tumblr sexy man, right? Because he's not like a little dirtbag or like a big, tall, sexy guy. He's just kind of a weirdo with long hair and a small ass that is weird. It sucks.
Basically treated like a substitute wife by King.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right?
That's weird.
That's weird. I wonder if there's a part of this graph about that.
There's a lot of images in sections 11 and 12 that don't really have captions. I'm mostly going to leave this to people who want to look at it themselves.
Yeah.
But I bring up his lack of unique voice lines. I bring up that he tries to romance the first bitches that show up that have pronouns. I have every time he is referred to as a lesser father, highlighting the lesser part.
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of when you wrote that person, or when you had that person and you wrote a bunch of red things to it.
So Swatch has got some lines of dialogue that calling Rules that unbearable pause. Unique man, followed with, I am afraid that person is now banned from this establishment. Please do not mention him again.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we can leave this to audience exploration. The Rules card relationship system, definitely me. But I'm not allowed.
I'm allowed to have relationships.
Oh lord.
So that's fun. Section 12 is every other thing that exists.
Yep.
Of Rules.
Yep. Like
we got the Valentine's cards.
The aforementioned picture of Rules card in between fucking Oscar Francois de Jarry, Rosa Versailles, and Gerard Way in the Welcome to the Black Parade outfit.
We've got how he's when he's little pins. He's with Shawm and Jevil specifically. All of the different merch that you can get him as, various references that he makes. He does Lethal Company dance. He shows up in a crossover with Groove Coaster. He's not in the Chapter 2 poster art. Here's another P-Jack image.
5 shots of bourbon and dick from a fat guy got me acting like a ashtray for his Cuban.
Okay.
And then the Valentine's things.
Okay. Yeah.
He's I Am Meme with his worms.
Yeah.
So I feel upset. My stomach hurt at various occasions throughout this.
Yeah.
The transfeminized stuff, Lucretia zooming in on patted my chest, comma. At several points in this, I felt queasy. I think I maybe had passively understood some of the Chris parallels, which of course are insubstantial beyond Pauldron and Blue. There's nothing else to it. But as I was going, I feel like I was. It also has a small. I feel like I was born witness to a horrible revelation, and it kind of made me a little insane, like Lovecraft. It got me bad.
I can't believe Rules is actually important.
I can't believe Rules is
I'm
intertwined
so mad.
in a really dramatic
This is like the
way.
point at the end of the John Boy video where the whole image zooms out and you're like, you feel so triumphant because it's like the whole narrative has resolved and it's so
Yeah.
beautiful, except I'm just fucking mad. I feel sick and mad and
have
upset.
By far what's going to be the longest episode.
God willing, this is the longest ever episode of Survey Program.
A long fucking episode where we learned a lot about rules and each other.
Did I get everything?
You got, I believe...
I
don't
think you
there's
got
anything
everything
else
there is to get about Rules Card.
I don't think there's much else to get about Rules Card. I think the Chris parallels are nauseating. The Proceed stuff, like him forcing the two, Lenina, fucking god,
Lenino and Elnina.
Lenino and Elnina. The fact that it's the backwards of whatever, yeah. To do what he says and pushing them along. Lucretia has zoomed in on the picture of Chris leaning forward over Noelle in the weird route and pointing and commanding. The fucking Royal Guard aesthetic of being second.
It's supposed to be a comedy moment. I'm so mad. This was supposed to be a silly episode. And now I'm like, fuck, Rules Card is very important. He's going to fucking show up with the vessel at some point.
I think it's really funny that, just to be selfish for a second, because I talked about this in the Chris episode in the beginning, where I was like, in the first two chapters, the only character I cared about that much was Rules Card. And then I was like, for some reason, in chapters 3 and 4, that developed into me really caring about Chris. And now I'm like, that's not a coincidence at all, because Rules Card is like a stupid, comedic shadow on the wall, parallel to Chris, that does everything that Chris does, but stupider and worse, and in a quote comedy moment first. And I hate that so much. It makes me so angry that I've been gotten by Tricky Tony's silly fucking ball trick.
What the hell is happening?
What the hell is happening? I've had dragged onto my screen every teenager's number 56. The good boyfriend loves girl with all his heart. He not afraid to point to girl in front of his friends, and Hugh says, that's her. That's the puppet master that cursed my dick.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the outro.
I'll see you in hell.
I'll see you in hell. I have to pee so bad.
Me too.
Well, that episode was exactly as long as it needed to be. Hi, I'm Kate Shrike. I hope you enjoyed listening to that episode and I lied to you about who I was earlier. But on to more important things. You can join the Survey Program Discord with a link in the notes. It's the main area where the discussion of episodes and the games themselves take place, and there's various creations from everyone in the community. You can also follow on Blue Sky if that's your preference to get other notifications about what comes out. The music was by Highwell. Bandcamp is in the description. There was a new album out relatively recently. It's called Waves. Give that a go. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, there's an RSS feed, and there's various things on YouTube as well. There's also a special presentation of this episode on YouTube with different visual appearance stuff. Check that out. If it's not there, don't get mad at anyone. I don't know what next episode is, even though I do. I'm gonna be there. I'm not, but check out Pisteals. It's also there. I don't know who that is. Anyway, grouposhrike.net, and I'm very, very sorry.